And right about now, I'm going to ask Karin to come. And Karin is the brains behind the sustainable inclusive business, and she champions a lot on the circular economy. And she hopes that companies, embrace the aspect of sustainability. So karibu sana Karin. Let's give her a round of applause, everyone. Woo!
Thank you very much. It feels as home. Thank you for being here. I'm very happy that we are here. In this building, we organized the first annual conference on sustainable, inclusive, circular business, which was in 2016. And the reason we choose this building is also because this building, what people might not know, is a Green Star rated building, one of the ones we have in Kenya. We don't have so many, but now the doors are open, but it has, for example, a very natural climate control system. So there's no aircon that uses electricity. So that was one of the choices we made from the start. And we feel very much at home here in a university where we can learn and inspire and share. I'm very happy that everyone is here to actually together reshape our world into a sustainable and inclusive and circular place. And we are always coming together on an annual basis to not only learn, but also sort of reflect and have a temperature point on where we are on this journey. Because I like to ask you, who came here before? Who was already here in 2016 or in the editions after? I see people I know from a long way back. And also some of the participants just started their innovation, their startup, their business. And now they've grown into a small, medium enterprise. But they're still here because we like to have a checkpoint. Are we still on the right way? Are there new things that we can benefit from other partners that are doing things? Who is actually joining us on this journey? So it's a very special time that we all come together and everyone we know in this space is ready to share and actually find new partners. At this stage, it was already shared by our host, we live in a time where we actually really have to deal with the consequences of how we have shaped our world. Pollution, inequality, actually what we see around is not really improving, and yet there's some positivity. I think by now we've all understood that our actions have consequences. That is off the table for debate. So at least we now can start looking at how we can change what we're doing and how we do it and why we do things, why we do specific things in specific ways. And that rethinking process will lead to redesign, to actually do things in a different way. We want to look at a natural way of doing things. And I had one question, because we often talk about innovations, but sometimes there's no need for innovations. We have amazing innovations that we can benefit from, but we have also a lot of traditional knowledge that actually was already circular, if you use that word, or sustainable from the start, where there was a time that we had no waste. We didn't generate waste. We made choices for durability, long-lasting products. We didn't overconsume and we didn't overproduce. And that time can learn us a lot. It can teach us a lot, and we can learn from that and how to adapt that into the reality of today. And someone asked me a very interesting question a while back, and I thought I'm going to share that with you. If you could choose to now, at this stage, for a short while, go back in time or go into the future, what would you choose? And where would you go? Would you go back in the past a year ago, 50 years ago, 100,000 years ago? And if you go in the future, how far in the future would you go? And what and why would you want to look back or look ahead? So who would choose to go back to the past? Anyone? And why? What would you like to discover? Anyone? Do we have the mic? Where's Wanjira? Is there anyone who can share very quickly? Because I think it's interesting to hear. Some people want to go back to the past because they want to know how it was to live without digital devices, like my children. And some people want to go in the future to see whether what we're doing is going to be better, very different. We're living in a different planet. Future. You want to say something about the future? Ida?
Yeah. One, I already know what happened in the past. I knew we consumed less. I knew we produced what we needed to consume. But I do not know what is going to happen in the future. So I would like to go to the future because we already know what we want for the future. We already know we want a green revolution. So I would be more curious to actually go, in the future.
Great, thank you. And who wants to go back in the past and why?
You want to go to the past?
On the left, Wanjera. Oh, sorry. Okay, go.
Okay, thank you. My name is Elias. I think I would like to go to the past for me to be able to understand the different aspects that we never looked at in terms of environment, sustainability, and a lot of business. Because we are where we are because of some steps that we never took that would have been taken. So if we are able to understand the past a little bit better, maybe even more than we are trying to understand it now, we can prepare for future better. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for sharing. I think it will be brilliant if we can combine the two and take the best out of the past and apply it into the future. But I think that will be also an interesting conversation for today in any session. What kind of traditional knowledge do we have, and how can we make sure that we drive a sustainable and circular future together? And I just want to thank everyone who's here and contributing, whether it is with flowers, with our clothing. I want to say something small about what I'm wearing, because it's an upcycled blouse with upcycled parts of jeans. And then this is a print. This is actually a bed sheet, so I never left my bed. I never woke up today. It's hand printed with hemp plants. So it's a very nice example that fashion doesn't have to be fast fashion, and that materials can actually become a really part of a long, long life, and more of a style than a fast fashion statement. So we have many more examples. I can talk about that forever, whether it's in agriculture, food systems, textiles, looking at packaging even. Look at an orange, how well it's packaged just by the peel. We were talking about that yesterday with a packaging industry leader, on how nature has packaged that beautifully. But also, if you imagine that out of the orange peels you can make new textiles, and they become just like a very soft textile, and they're doing that currently. So many things are happening where everything is being looked at not as a waste, not as I'm done with it, but as a resource forever. And that is beautiful. So thank you very much for being here. I like to really thank all the partners, all the exhibitors, all the speakers that we have, and all our partners that made this possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Karin, for putting this together. We now understand that circular economy is more than just recycling, right? Have you understood that? It's a complete redesign of how we're using our resources, yeah? And reimagining waste, and also creating endless cycles of opportunities.